Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's time for some noisy shit. It is time for some chaos. It is time for something weird and wonderful, sci-fi infused and insane. It is, of course, Wallowing with their brand new track, Restless Dusk I, the Anamnesis Hymn. I'm going to say that slowly. I'm pretty sure I nailed it there, right?
I'm gonna go yes because you feel really good about it. So let's just leave it there. I think it because you're putting something between the M and the N. I think it's anamnesis. But anyway,
that one, whatever it is, it's the brand new track from Wallowing, created for the forthcoming 5th anniversary remastered edition of their colossal debut sci-fi concept album Planet Loss, which is an album reviewed many, many years ago. Of course, you can pre-order this now in some sexy, sexy vinyl colors, looking damn pretty as well. And yeah, so it's great to see them doing that. It's great to get a new track from Wallowing. Not listened to this as of yet. Put it to the side as a time recording specifically for this reason. But it's no secret, I think this band is phenomenal. It's a band that I urge people to not just listen to, but to go see live, because that is such an important part of the Wallowing experience. I am mesmerized every time I see this band live. And musically, I just find them insane. Even if I am not smart enough to pick up on so much of the layers going on in their damn crazy music, it's always thoroughly enjoyable. And I love how much they breathe into their concept. They breathe into what and who they are, and what they want to showcase. But Wallowing, where are you at with Wallowing at the moment these days?
Yeah, I ain't really anywhere with them, to be totally honest with you. I know that they're I'm basically looking forward to seeing them at Incineration Fest, because I know you speak about them a lot. I haven't listened to a lot of stuff by them, so I'm planning to see them there, and hope that that's my moment of, this is really cool. I'm going to get into it. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, I did find it quite interesting, and I was like, all right, looking at the video and that, and I scrolled down to see if there were lyrics, and then there were 4 sentences, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to need that. I read them. I remember them now, and I can just watch a video.
Outstanding stuff. I did just scroll down and look myself. That's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I saw this band play the New Cross in last year, and that was an intimate, wonderful showcase, but also the Arc Tangent as well, and that was incredible too. So looking forward to seeing them at Incineration Fest again as well, and hopefully about out and about more this year in more like smaller local venues as well that we can get down to. But for now, we're going to check it out. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, I also saw them supporting Ithaca. I forgot I saw them last year supporting Ithaca. They were amazing.
Stalker.
Yeah, it's been hot. Hey, that's Arc Tangent. I recognize the stage. Oh, it's gonna be like live footage. Kind of.
Trippy.
That's a very ordered, very more. I don't know what a word's coming on is sensible, but it makes sense. Like a sensible wallowing experience. With elements of their more chaotic style, it's surprisingly very doomy, very that kind of vibe as well. It's something. What's your initial feelings on that?
I my brutal honesty, my initial feelings while listening to most of the track was this is very run of the mill. That's the truth. Not gonna pretend. It's meant to be honest reactions, isn't it? At the end of the day, so I'm not
Of
gonna pretend that I
course.
was blown away by that or anything like that. Doesn't mean it was necessarily bad. I don't mean it was like, oh my god, that was bad. That's not what I'm saying. The first minute or so, which was what felt to me like pretty basic riffing and a drum beat, which I enjoyed. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe it's been built up too much in my head.
Hmm.
Because but then what you said there at the beginning, I guess what I was expecting was utter chaos, and what I got was not. Other than some moments where it felt like, okay, this is more chaotic. I can get into this. Weirdly though, despite me saying all this, I enjoyed it as a song.
Mm.
I thought, oh, this is pretty good. It didn't sell the wallowing experience to me, as in like this shit's crazy, heavy, gut wrenching. Like that I didn't get that from that song. I enjoyed it as a song. I was like, oh, actually, I could headbang to this. It's got a nice beat, that sort of thing. I enjoyed it. I thought I liked the deep sort of down tuning on the instrumentations. I think his vocals are fine. Not stand out as anything particularly. Oh my God, I've never heard a vocalist like this before or anything like that, but I thought they were good. It worked well in the music. Uh, I was hoping that it would switch up at some point because like that constant distorted squeal of the guitar as an intro, it's like, oh fucking hell, I hate when bands just do that. It's just like just a squeal noise. It's like fuck off, do something, hit a drum or something. They did, thankfully. Um, there's a weird one for me. It's like I enjoyed it, and if I'd never heard anything about Wallowing, if you'd never said anything to me about them, or I'd never read anything about them, or anything like that, and somebody played me that song, I'd say, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Uh, I guess maybe it's been built up to a point in my head where I don't know what I was expecting. Utter
Mm.
fucking anarchy, potentially. So then when it was quite calm, I wouldn't say it wasn't disappointing. That's not it at all. It just wasn't what I was expecting. You kind of, sort of attuned to it a little bit as well anyway, when you said, oh, that was way more organized than I was maybe expecting. And it was for me too. It was way more organized than I was expecting, but not bad. Not like, oh my God, I hated that. That's terrible. Just, oh, okay.
We've done this to each other more times than we can count. It is a consistent problem
Mm.
that we can't really get around. And to be honest, I don't care enough to get to even
No,
try and get around it. But of course, things are going to be built up in a certain way. This doesn't change my feelings at all. In fact, I love this, but I love this from the perspective of, oh man, this could be a palate cleanser amongst certain things. And you get that slower, dirty, so really down tuned distorted, just dun, 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 just like that, with those bursts and stuff like that. I absolutely loved it. Weirdly, I love all that squealing shit in this music. I love it. I just love that sense of it's messy, but it's planned messiness. Even in an ordered track like this, which has a lot more, it has a more almost traditional sort of structure, like rhythm that's going on within that sort of doomier kind of soundscape. To me, I'm looking at this and I'm hearing that as a whole. Oh, this is a cool extra track from Wallowing amongst all
yeah.
the other great
Uh,
stuff they've done as well.
and I think that's it's certainly not an issue. Like I'm talking about this like, oh my God, I've now got a problem with wallowing. I don't. I enjoyed
Mm.
it. It doesn't haven't changed anything for me. I'm interested still at seeing what they're like live at Incineration Fest. And but what I'm hoping for is what you just said there that you've got from it, because the rest of your wallowing experience. You see this as a palate cleanser, whereas for me, I haven't my palate hasn't been wrecked enough yet to need cleansing. So to me, it was like, oh, okay. So I'm hoping the live experience, I'm going to see the a more fuller range of what Wallen will do, and then I might see this song as a palate cleanser too. You know,
That's cool. So the track focuses on trauma and how it engulfs a person, how overwhelming and chaotic you can feel. I'm just reading this off the press release. I think reading that, really helps the track actually understanding that, because I think that comes through really strongly. If you're talking about the sense of being engulfed by trauma and the weight of it pushing you down, I think that really comes across there, because I'd argue that's a very smothering soundscape. And that's sometimes what, I guess, if you're dealing with a lot of trauma and you're trying to get past it to some degree, or at least deal with it as best you can. What do you think?
I almost want to like because I feel like I'm being unfairly critical to a band that I have no problem with whatsoever and actually quite enjoyed the track and I'm excited to go and see. So,
Yeah,
but
right.
I can't help myself because, you know, words are words and it's not going to change anything at the end of the day. The reality of it for me is that I guess trauma is a big word.
Mm,
And different types of traumas to different people require different types of music. Sometimes if I suffer a trauma, I'm not talking about, you know, like if there was, you know, a major thing that happened or anything like that, sometimes I want to let loose, sometimes I want to listen to something sad, you know what I mean? So it's different at
yeah,
different points.
of course.
The thing with music conveying emotion is I should be able to get that emotion without knowing the story. I now that you've told me that story, I can attribute parts of that song to it and say, yeah, okay, I can see where that works. I can see where that works. And I get that. But I didn't get that listening to it first time round. But I
Mm,
don't think that's the song's fault because again, I'm judging a band I know so little about other than what, you know, you and some other people and things I've read and all that sort of stuff have said about them. So I don't know if I'd ever have considered that they were trying to convey emotion through their music. I don't know if that my head was in that space going into it. So I would probably never have listened to that song trying to get that out of it. I listened to that song, and this is not their fault. It's completely my fault. Listening to hear chaos because that's what I thought was all that wallowing were.
mm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
wrong.
my fault though. Then
No, but I mean, it's a
yeah,
good thing. Like, it's a positive, right? Because what I've seen now is that actually there's more to that band. And now, from what you've told me about that song, now my mindset will change in it. And I'll probably enjoy the live experience even more now because I'll appreciate the fact that, you know, they're more than a one-dimensional sort of noise deliverer. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, there's
yeah.
more to them than that. And yeah, I've gone into it going, oh my God, this is going to be chaos. I'm not expecting to, you know, have anything thoughtful or introspective or anything like that come out of it. So it's my fault, not theirs, is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? I've come into this with a very unfairly pre-judgment made on what this band are going to deliver. And then when they didn't deliver it, I didn't dislike it. I was surprised. And now I know, and I'm out of that. I'm not surprised. I don't know. Maybe if I listen to this song again now or tomorrow or the next day or anything like that, I'm going into it with a different preconception. And obviously, with Incineration Fest in a week, 2 weeks' time, hopefully they haven't seen this and I don't get beaten up in a back alley by them or something like that, you know. But I think I'm gonna enjoy the show more now because I know more about Wallowing having listened to that track and then us speaking about it now than I did that I going into it. Do you know what I mean? It's educated me. So look, as a song, I found it to be a good song, just not what I was expecting. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
They will see this because we repost and they tweet at us and we share stuff and all that kind of thing. So they totally fucking will see it. And you are going to get beaten up around the back alley with a black heart by them because you
Well,
won't
I'm quite
and you
big.
won't even be
Let's
able
have it.
to. You won't be able to identify them because they wear all their beekeeper style alien
Uh,
outfits. So you're
I'm
fucked.
pretty sure if I see a dude walking past in a beekeeper outfit, I'm probably going to be able to identify him. Unless all their fans turn up in it too, because then that could get really unfortunate.
I look forward to because I'm going to do what I just said I won't do and be like, you know what, man, after Incineration Fest, you'll be their number one fan.
I may very well be. Look, I didn't dislike the track. I was just surprised by it because I set a preconception in my head, which was unfair on the band. But even with that, I came out of it and said, "Oh, I did quite like it,"
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And
absolutely.
now I
And
see that they're way more dimensional than the fact that they may be from another dimension, but also in terms of there's more to them than that. All we do is deliver chaos.
well,
So, and
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good
because
thing.
I don't think I've ever really spoken to you about other elements like the fact that it is all conceptual stuff and there's comic books that go along with their music as well, and telling
I think
stories.
you mentioned the comic book, but like, yeah, like it. know how it is, man. Like you just do it sometimes, and it's not fair on the band. But that's why we do this. Like we do this because we hope people will watch it, but we also do this because we want to show things off to each other. And what I've now got out of you showing me this is a greater appreciation of what Wallowing are and what they represent, and a song that I quite like. It's not a
Fair
bad,
enough.
not a bad result.
Yeah, not bad return at all. Okay, that was Restless Dusk I, the Anamnesis Hymn. Yes,
That
God
one.
damn it. Yeah, what do you reckon? You got any thoughts? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.